Fears of nuclear terrorism prompted representatives from at least 26 countries, including Russia and China, to make a quiet visit to Las Vegas recently.
Well, they were here to check out a highly sophisticated but little-known operation that would be critical in the event of a nuclear disaster. The program is called FRMAC, and it just might be the most important program you've never heard of. George Knapp, the I-team, also got a special tour. He's here with the exclusive story.
You knew it had to be an acronym of some sort. FRMAC stands for Federal Radiological Monitoring and Assessment Center. In the event of a nuclear accident or terror attack, FRMAC would be the first line of defense. In a sense, team members would spring into action, grab their gear, and be airborne in an instant, ready to monitor the radiation and assess what should be done next. No one else in the world has this kind of expertise, which is why the foreign countries were invited to town to learn from the best. In Tom Clancy's The Sum of All Fears, fascists smuggle a nuclear device into Baltimore and detonate it. A more likely scenario, experts say, is that Islamic terrorists acquire a small nuke or so-called dirty bomb and attack an American city or nuclear power plant. No matter what the scenario or where, ground zero for the responders will be Las Vegas.
This is where the emergency response starts.
At first glance, it may not look like much. The thousands of people who drive past the north end of Nellis every day have no idea what's just beyond the fence in a nondescript beige building. The only outside hint is the sign. If the unthinkable happens, this will be the nerve center, the eyes, ears, and brain for emergency responders and policymakers who would have to know as soon as possible how bad things are on the ground. The central mission?
To coordinate the data that's measured in a radiological release. That's it. And we need to get it to the right people at the right time.
The reason it's in Las Vegas is simple, because of the decades of real-life experience and hands-on expertise emanating from the Nevada test site. The program, called FRMAC, was created in the aftermath of the 3 Mile Island power plant incident and became more urgent after the attacks of 9/11. Intelligence experts say there is no question that terrorists are trying to obtain nuclear materials for a bomb. It could be when, not if.
A worst case, I have to say, has to be a nuclear detonation, by far. Every other nuclear accident pales. With a nuclear detonation, hundreds of thousands may die. So it's just enormous in scale.
In the event of an explosion somewhere, FRMAC would be ready. The teams train constantly, similar to war games. They make projections about what would happen if a bomb went off, say, near the White House, where the radiation would spread, what areas would need to be evacuated, how long the region would be contaminated.
Inside this area, unless people had promptly got into adequate shelter, survival is unlikely. In the second year, in the 50 years, that sort of thing, you still have to be worried about the fallout.
The first people to know a radiation device is involved would likely be firefighters. That would set into motion the FRMAC response. Teams could be in the air within 2 hours in aircraft packed with the most sensitive radiation detection gear in the world. Any radiation that can pose a threat to the public would be found by their aerial sensors.
It's sending this data by telemetry back to this location here in Las Vegas.
This area is our technical area.
Raja Meena shows us what's called the home team room. This would be the heart of the operation until the radiation monitors arrive at the scene. Her people would analyze the situation and feed information to local agencies. FRMAC deals with more than just hypotheticals, though. When Katrina flooded New Orleans, the most sophisticated sensors on the planet were dispatched to look for submerged sources of radiation. No one in the world is better prepared to deal with the ultimate disaster.
We are the forefront. DOE is the premier asset for this type of response.
FRMAC scientists and managers say they shudder to think how much worse a nuclear accident could be without their eyes and ears. Understandably, they are opposed to proposals that would eliminate the Department of Energy, which is the parent organization for their program. If you'd like to learn more, we have links at 8newsnow.com. Didn't have time to get into all the specifics about their technology, but they can fly over an airport and tell you which planes have radium in their dials in their instrumentation. Radiation in the bricks in the city of Atlanta. It's amazing what they can do.
Really sensitive. Yeah.
Well,
thanks, George.
Sure.